Hi everyone, let's talk about Pandemic Rapid Response. So, I am a big fan of Pandemic and pretty much the entire Pandemic series, really, and real-time games in general, especially those designed by Kane Klenko, who's the designer of this. I believe the first Pandemic game that hasn't got Matt Leacock on the box. But Kane Klenko has designed things like Dead Men Tell No Tales, the cooperative game, Fuse Flatline, real-time dice-based cooperative games. So Rapid Response fits that mold beautifully, and it's a great system of you are trying to travel around the world, seeing where the crises pop up. You are in a plane ready to drop supplies. It's nice that each of the locations need a different amount of dice, and so you need them for the particular places that your plane is near. But based on the results of the dice that you get, you might need to go to a different place that you've managed to get the resources for. Based on the rolls that you get, it's a bit of push your luck that you can just lock in a few dice, get one of that cube now, or you can leave your dice locked in, hope that other players can build on your work, get a load of cubes, and then you'll get your dice back. But if that doesn't end up happening, you'll end up really limited when you don't have many dice to use on your turn when it comes around again, because they're all locked in these things. Another nice thing is the waste as well. Whenever you are delivering these cargo things, which is the point of the game, it's something you're going to have to be doing constantly. They will generate an amount of waste that you can't really predict, and going for the larger amount of cubes is going to generate more waste statistically, but it's based on what you roll of those dice. And that's another great thing that's pulling you back from trying to get all of these things done, that you have to keep an eye on the waste. And at a certain point, though the time pressure is on you, stop what you're doing and go and run to the waste bit. It's a bit different to a lot of the real-time games in that this is done in turns. The round is 2 minutes. And so it's do what you can in 2 minutes, but we are taking it one by one. It's not like, say, Flatline, where we all roll our dice and then we frantically talk about what can we do with all of this stuff. I've got this. Has anyone got this? Has anyone got this? This is much more measured, and it's still got pressure on you, but it's a lot calmer because it's my turn. This is what we can kind of discuss what we need, but it's probably based on what I roll. I've got 2 re-rolls after my first one, and we've got a rough idea from the cities what we need to do. So it's definitely it's got more of a laid back feel. Not that it will get harder by adding more and more cards into the deck, because you need to work quicker and be more successful to get those things done by the end. And there is the Crisis deck that adds more of a random element to it. That's this turn everyone loses a dice. This turn everyone has to retrieve a dice they've previously locked in. That kind of stuff to throw a spanner in the works. So you can up the difficulty to make it harder. But I'll say that maybe it is my love for the really stressful ones, the ones where you're really in the thick of it and you are just frantically kind of barking at each other for, has anyone got this thing? Has anyone got this thing? Can anyone help me with this? What does everybody need? What does everybody need? I really like that kind of that state of chaos that we get in those other games, and the rapid response just hasn't done that yet. I don't feel that it's definitely making it more difficult, ramping up the difficulty and the number of the cards in the deck and stuff. But it still hasn't given us that spark yet. I still, admire things about the game and I've enjoyed parts of it. But a game or two into Fuse and Flatline, and I was evangelizing like crazy about them and going on about how much I love them. And it's definitely it's one that I've enjoyed playing, and it just hasn't had that spark of brilliance that I want to effuse about it. It's just that, yes, I enjoyed this, and I think if you are one of those, like I said in maybe Tale of Pirates, where it's not full on stress mode, it takes the foot off the pedal a little bit and still gives you that pressure while allowing you to maybe just talk to each other a little bit rather than have to shout and scramble across the table. It's as well the rule that you can't talk when the timer isn't on is I see why it's there to limit any discussion that's happening is taking time away from your rounds, but it's very easily forgotten, and that's probably the biggest thing in the way. That's it changes that structure. Maybe it's because we're so used to that structure as well in other real-time games that say in Project Elite and Flatline and Kitchen Rush, that when the timer is stopped, Now is the time to take a breather, take stock, see where we are, see in terms of the bigger picture stuff. We can't see, what new customers are going to come out or something in Kitchen Rush, but we can kind of see, okay, what have we left ourselves with? What situation are we in? What do we need to do to get ready for the next round? Then when the next round starts, we'll do it. In this, it's very much that the round ending is a pause button, and you do a little bit of admin, and then we get back to it. I think that's the idea. Whereas if you leave it and have a break and get a drink and stuff, it's so easy to slip into just saying something about the game. And I think probably the design idea behind it is that you are just supposed to get into the next round. You're just supposed to do card, token. Now we're in the next round, and we can keep talking and don't even have to think about it. So I don't think it's a big problem. I just think that's probably the way it's envisioned to go. And yeah, it's really easy to forget and break that rule in it. But the playthrough will hopefully do a better job of describing Pandemic Rapid Response to you. I'm going to go and film another video now. Bye, everyone.